Good day guys, coming here. Welcome to Langrisser 3.0 news from the future. So it's April 2021 and the CN server will be receiving 2 new heroes from the Langrisser reincarnation story. So though I hate to say this, but loli lovers, so you'll be receiving 1 new loli, Lucretia, and 1 new hero, which a lot of fans will be calling him the new Emperor, and his name is definitely not that easy to pronounce from my perspective, so I'm gonna call him the new Emperor in this video. But okay, the video will be divided into 2 parts. So part 1 I'll be going through on Lucretia, and part 2 on the new Emperor. So you guys ready? So before we carry on, a very great thanks to information shared provided by the Langrisser mobile app 梦幻模拟战手游. So at the end of the video, I will show you guys the rough translations of the skills effect. So here we go. So the team will be the King and the Hollow Heart. And as for why, well, I will not be explaining. You guys can just go find out because you're here for the skills. So and featuring Lucretia and Lucretia. Okay, and the guys will be Autoclarto fourth. Well, so I'm just gonna go with the new Emperor. So SSR hero, and she's known as a puppeteer. So her talent will be the puppeteer witch. So wow, the talent icon looks very cute. So it has a very long effect, and I gotta say I hate heroes with very long effects. Okay, so when units HP are high, damage deal will be increased. The maximum it will increase at rank 6 will be 30%. So all talents info I'll be going through right now will be based on rank 6. Then at the start of the battle, we'll summon 1 magic puppet beside Lucretia, and whenever within 3 squares or tiles Lucretia range there is a magic puppet around her, she will not receive she will survive a death blow damage and recover the HP to a maximum of 20%, and every battle will only trigger once. Okay, so do note that the information about the puppet, so the puppet HP and stats are based on the summoner's biggest health points of 100%, and as for the rest of the stats are also based on 100%. Okay, the great and special things about the puppet is that they have their own special skill sets, and they have up to 3. So this is maybe a revolution for summoning players or summoners players. So the first will be Magic Signal. So it's passive, so it will increase the puppet summoners units range by +2. Wow, that is crazy. Then number 2, it will be known as Magic Impulse. So it's another support skills. It will cause target characters' skill to have their skills cooldown reduced by 1, and the cooldown of this skill is 1 too. So wow, you can abuse it quite frequently, I gotta say, because of the low CD skill. And last but not least, position shifting. So it's an active skill. It will allow this puppet to shift place with his summoner, and then allow the puppet to act again. The cooldown of this skills is 3 turns, and the targeting position it's up to 7 squares or tiles. So this is very strong. So instead of just doing normal summoning, you are just shifting positions with the summoner. So okay, it will give or provide the players a lot of mind-blowing play, I gotta say. So alright, the faction will be Empire Princess and the Reincarnation faction. Whoa, okay. Empire too, so this is very cool. Alright, so we're gonna re-summarize her skills again for Lucretia. So okay, at rank 6, number 1, the higher the unit's HP are, the higher the damage they deal, to a maximum of 30%. Number 2, at the start of every battle, will summon a magical puppet beside Lucretia. And number 3, whenever the puppet is 3 squares or tiles around her and she receives a death blow, she will survive and recover HP by 20%. Number 4, this effect can only trigger or happen once every battle. Okay, then now to the puppet part. So number 1, the puppet HP and stats will be based on the summoner's stats by 100% of everything. So yep. Then we'll be going through the puppet skills. Number 2, magic signal is a passive, so it allows the summoners of the puppet unit's range or shooting range to increase by +2. This is crazy. Number 3, support skill. It will cause the target characters' skills to have their skills cooldown reduced by 1, and the cooldown of this skill is 1. And number 4, position change. So as an active skills, it will cause the puppet to shift its positions with the summoner and allow itself to act again. This skill has a cooldown of 3 turns. So wow, this is very cool, and I gotta say this is better than even for Sissy White. Her summoning is not as good as this puppet. I gotta say it's very weird. I mean, it's good. I gotta say, based on what we are reading right now, the information about Lucretia is very good. In fact, it's too good and better than the previous summon from the original characters that the Langrisser team make, like characters like Sissy White. Her summon are not as strong, but for Lucretia, her summon is kind of strong. And they have very useful and, very supportive skills to the team. So right now we'll be going to characters, class, path, and skills. And to make things quick and easy, I will just quickly go through any existing skills that has already been released in the game. I'll only go through special or unique skills that belongs to this character that is released for this banner. So right, the initial path. So it's just a mage or magician for Lucretia. So she has this dark rib, which is basically a lifesteal effect. Target a single enemy, deal 1.3 times damage, ignore 30% magic defense, and after battle heal back 50% of damage deal. Number 2, Icicle or Ice Strike. Magic attack, target a single enemy, deal 1.5 times damage, effective against Lancer. Okay, the second path. So basically she's only have left and right. Okay, the Hermit path. Okay, I gotta say I like her design. I mean, not her, but the puppet more. The puppet definitely looks very cool. And for more skills details, we'll be going through when the demo releases out. So bear with me, guys. Okay, something new for her. Okay, so second path, second path, first class, Summoner. So the skills will be Mind Pollution, Magic Attack, deal around Lucretia or her summons or her puppet around their range 4 squares or tiles, damage to enemy 0.4 times magic damage, and cause enemy to not be able to receive healing effect and unable to receive buff effects, and it will last for 2 turns. Okay, so this will be, whoa, it's definitely a new skill. So yup, so you can target either from Lucretia or from the puppet, and around them, enemy who are around them will take AoE damage of 0.3 times and cause them to not only unable to be healed and also not able to receive buff effects and last for 2 turns. So okay, re-summarize. Number 1, deal either Lucretia or the puppet around them 4 squares or tiles, 0.3 times damage to enemy. Number 2, cause enemy to not able to receive healing. Number 3, unable to receive buff. Number 4, it will last for 2 turns. Okay, very cool. Okay, now at the final class, Hermit. Okay, so you have 1 new skill, Chaos Torpedo or Chaos Missile. So okay, the magic attack 1 straight line and damage all enemy 0.33 times magic damage, effective against monk, and give them a random debuff. So right, Chaos Missile, this is something new if I'm not wrong. So number 1 is an AoE damage, but it deals on 1 single path. Okay, deals 0.333 times AoE damage. Number 2, effective against monk. Number 3, add 1 random debuff effects to enemy. So yeah, for players who like to play the dirty water or debuff technique, she's the deal. And whoa, well, what do we have? The last skill, Black Hole. So she has a Black Hole too. So attack multiples enemy, deal 0.36 times damage, and give enemy random 2 debuff. So okay, gotta say it's very strong. Okay, the other path, so you'll be known as the Head Priestess or Pope path. I'm gonna go with that, or Great Leader path. So yep. Okay, second class. So on the next class, second class, first path. So yep, Pope. Yeah, I'm gonna go with leader. So yep, clan. So do single target damage. So it's a single targeting skills. Attack a single enemy, deal 1.5 times damage. If target enemy is demon, it will deal extra effects or will be effective against them. After battle, remove up to 2 buff from the enemy. So it's a repeated, so it's an existing skill, so we'll be skipping. Okay, Pope, or I'm gonna call the Great Pope. So yep, so this will be the last class. And okay, it has mass strengthening, so it's a support skills. Use it and increase ally units attack and intelligence by 20%, immune to attack intelligence, down, nor unable to use skill effects, and it will last for 2 turns. So okay, it's existing skills. And last, Heaven's Punishment. Well, okay, this is skills that Lana and Chafanel have, and wow, we had a 3rd player if I'm not wrong. So yep, magic damage increase crit by 50%, deal around Lucretia 5 squares or tiles, enemy 0.35 times AoE damage, effective against demons. And wow, she has a 3rd path known as the Great Mage path. Okay, so this is a bad news because you guys got to spend 3 rune stones for her. Okay, another new skill. So this will be Darkness Contract or Darkness Covenant. Alright, so Great Magician, so it's an active, it's a passive skills. When actively dealing damage to enemy, it will cause a darkness marking on them. When the magic puppet go into battle with enemies that has the darkness marking on them, it will ignore guard and increase damage dealt by 30%, and the damage the puppet received will be reduced by 50%. So this is a great synergy between Lucretia and the puppet. So alright, gonna re-summarize it. So number one, when you actively deal damage to enemy, it will cause a darkness or shadow mark on the enemy. Number two, when your puppet fights or going to battle with enemy with shadow marking, it will ignore guard. Number three, increase damage dealt by 30%. And number four, the damage the puppet will take will be reduced by 50%. And that is a lot compared to other summons, characters, or effects. So to be honest, I see great potential in her, and hopefully I will be able to get her. Okay, 3C skills. So I'm gonna go with Uncleansed Impulse or Uncleansed Shockwave or Uncleansed Shock or Uncleansed Strike. So okay, so it's both passive and active, and it, based on the description, it definitely looks easy to understand. So alright, passive, at the end of a turn, recover herself and her puppet HP by 20%. Oh, okay, she have self-healing skill now. Oh my god, this is crazy. I mean, and it's not just for her but for her puppet. Okay, this looks very strong. Okay, active skill. Attack a single enemy, deal 1.6 times damage, effective against monk. Before battle, cause enemies' attack and intelligence to be reduced by 30%. Reduce their defense by 30%, magic defense by 30%, skill by 30%. And you will last for 2 turns and not able to be dispelled. Holy cow, this is, I gotta say, this is crazy. Oh my god. And okay, I don't know how many turns this 3C has, but nonetheless, if I'm right, the enemy should be dead after they receive an attack from Lucretia. I mean, if definitely her stats is between A to S, that would be great. So right, we're gonna re-summarize again for the active skills. The passive is very straightforward, just healing. Alright, number one, single target enemy, deal 1.6 times damage. Number two, effective against holy unit. Number three, before battle, cause enemy attack and intelligence to be reduced by 30%. Number four, reduce their defense by 30%. Number five, reduce their magic defense by 30%. Number six, reduce their skill by 30%. Number seven, lasts for 2 turns and cannot be dispelled. So oh my god, she is definitely a very great firepower to the team, and congratulations, if you bring her to battle, you have 6 units instead of 5. So the only thing right now will be, there has not been too much description whether if the summon puppet will it reborn or is a one-time summoning thing, though it says at the start of battle. So okay, for right now I'm going to presume that there's only 1 life to this puppet, so once it's dead you cannot resummon it at the start of next turn or whatsoever. If not, it's gonna be too broken, and this means players got to be careful about where you bring this puppet to. But the great things is that I guess this means it brings out more potential even for other characters like Yusuke and Rion. So, well, once the puppet is dead, Lucretia might not be as strong or good. Well, maybe you can sacrifice her and you can strengthen your Yusuke or Rion. But of course, this is just my thoughts. So, right, we have come to the end. I'm going to show you guys the rough translations, but do note that the translations are not 100% accurate. So, right, until the actual demo play comes out. So, this is a rough translations for you guys. Okay, the name for new emperor definitely sounds off. Yep, Lucretia, that's her name. Okay, one final look for you lowly lovers. Sorry, yep, this will be her talent. So alright, we have come to the end. Remember to like and subscribe my videos. We will see you guys on the next video for the new emperor. Right, this is Kami. We'll see you, and remember to like and subscribe. Goodbye.